It looks like even though it is top
All
cut, the
right.
Riftbound rules allows you, or doesn't allow you, but it tells you you have to still choose random turn order. Quite different if you're coming from different TCGs. I know it was a
Yeah.
little bit of an experience for me because coming from other games, the higher seed usually decides the turn order, but in Riftbound it's a little bit different. Even though the play draw disparity isn't that huge. It's not a big, I mean, some people will argue being first is quite the advantage, but that's
It
kind
depends
of
on the
like in every
matchup, I think.
TCG.
I think it depends on the matchup, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are games where I think it's worse because in Magic you don't have any advantage from starting second, I think. Whereas here at least you got one more rune. And
Exactly.
oh
I
no,
think they balanced it
Insanity,
out.
Insanity. Don't apologize for the wording. I was just messing around. It's just uh don't apologize. I was just joking when I said
Oh,
that
we're
2 minutes.
seeing some big heavy cards in the
Oh
hand. Most
yeah,
likely, I think,
but
is that post
mm,
mulligan? Because that's not going to be feeling too good to have to
yeah,
be locked in
yeah,
with
yeah,
an
yeah.
Acathian Rain and a Time Warp in hand.
And both players won't be able to play on turn one, I think.
Oh, it was pre-mulligan. So electing to
Oh yeah,
keep the Cathy Rain, you can't blame him because Master Yi does have a good time holding and it's tough to get through with just simple units. So
yes.
prioritizing saving a big spell like a Cathy
And
Rain could do
especially
wonders.
especially in this first round where there's no side deck, and so if he has some potential um uh unyielding spirit, they are probably in his side deck. So right now he's probably fully exposed to the Icatian Rain. Same, no potential wind wall or mystical reversal. They're probably not here. And look at that! He's got two Icatian Rain in hand.
Yeah, quite the heavy hand indeed. At least he did find a turn one in that sentry. Passes it back over to Master Yi. Let's see if he's got. Oh, he does have the Catalyst of Aeons, but first things first, you have to conquer. So sends it over to the altar. Works a lot better against these Aurora decks that don't play any units going forward. But it doesn't really matter in this situation because Master Yi plus this Shielded Poro gonna be defending with a total of a respectable 5 might. So that is tough.
Respectable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
5 might is tough.
that's a
5 might is definitely
euphemism.
tough. Especially for
Oh,
a
but he got the
sentry.
Extec Ray. He got the Extec Ray. So he's just going to shoot that Poro.
Doesn't get the
And
5 might like that.
yeah, because he was tapped out. So yeah, that's a really good one. I'm not gonna say good play because that was easy, but it's fortunate for Kesa that she managed to find that kill so that Yi cannot start stacking those little units, and she still won't go for the altar of unity. She wants to prioritize the dreaming tree.
Yeah, it does go into that. Doesn't leave any runes up. Gonna go ahead and develop the board for the time being. Instead of leaving anything up, getting the Kaiser online does feel good.
And
You
he
want to.
can already accelerate the Faithful. And oh wait, is that no? He can Dead Bloom.
Wow, yeah, so many runes at his disposal. Could play the Dead Bloom if he chooses to do so. He has 8 total, right? 2, 4, 6, 8.
Yeah, but I think right now you would rather accelerate the Faithful because you want it as early as possible on board. If it dies, it's okay. It still accelerates you. And you would rather keep the Dead Bloom for a Darius or something bigger.
Yeah, I couldn't
Don't you
agree
think?
more. It looks like he might be leaning that way to Dead Bloom. It looks like he's about to play it out right here, right now. Taking down a lonely little sentry with just one might. It feels like a little bit of an overcommitment, but it's going to be defending quite well. But no, it looks like he's taking it back. Going with your line,
Yeah.
Leroy. Going to be accelerating the Tasty Faithful. And he does want to challenge. He does want to contest that Dreaming Tree. And does get the +1 draw, though. It's going to be netting him that cleave. But I'm not seeing... Oh, no. He does at least have the Darius. So not too bad. I was just about to say, I don't
Yes.
think he has units. But he definitely does have at least that Darius. Not looking too bad for Master Yi. Usually Kaiser's the one scoring early, but because this isn't a dazzling Aurora, Master Yi is able to get a little bit ahead on those points. Kaiser, of course, as strong as she is, just not strong enough to get over the Tasty Fae Folk. Might have to go ahead and send it over to the Altar of Unity. Maybe try to hold that down, but we saw what's lurking in the hand of Master Yi. It is that strong, prominent 8 might unit known as Deadbloom. I think we saw earlier. I think he's up to a $60, $70 card already. That's crazy so far. Hopefully he comes down a little bit so he's a bit more affordable.
Yeah. Uh,
It's quite the
it's a
heavy
tough.
hand, isn't it?
Yeah. You're like you got those time warps, those Icathian Rain, so you don't want to recycle too much. And the problem is that Icathian Rain cannot be used on the Dead Bloom. I mean, it can, but in order to kill a Dead Bloom, normally with Icathian Rain, you have to recycle 4 more runes because each tick of Icathian Rain
Is per
targets
target,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be super disadvantageous to do that. But trying to think what he could do here. He hasn't played out anything. He has 2 units, making that Darius and Ravenbloom onto Altar. And whoa, a takey backseat in our semifinals. I think the judge is saying,
No, it was like, okay.
oh, okay. Wait a second. So, okay, no. He's still gonna be playing it out to onto the battlefield, making
Yeah,
it
it's
so
just his
much
opponent.
harder.
Yeah. His opponent is at 9, so he needs to have Vanguard and Dead Bloom to remove it all.
He has the runes to do exactly as you said. He has the on guard and he does have the Deadbloom. What's currently on the board? That's 5 from the Darius, 4 bringing it up to 9. And Ravenbloom normally able to get a bit more, but with a complete tap out from this Kaiser player, that's just going to be a simple 2. So a total of 11 might holding it down. So Leroy, you're exactly right. Oh, wait a second. No, that brings the Deadbloom up to 10. I don't think that's enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because 5 from the Darius, 4 from Kaiser, 9, and then 2 from Ravenbloom. That's going to be going up to 11. So even Deadbloom, man, you see why this Omega Zero Kaiser is in that semifinals position, knowing the breakpoints, playing around not only Deadbloom, he's playing around even a Deadbloom on top of an on guard, counting the runes that his opponent is going to be going in the following turn. Super well played, saying if you're gonna have to take this altar, I'm coming down swinging, and you're gonna have to do a little bit more than what the straightforward play would require. And I don't think he's gonna be able to conquer altar, so that was a really good hold.
This being said, if you right now he is ahead in terms of points, so if he starts stacking on the other battlefield, which he might do, it will be tough for Kaisa to win the race. And there it is. Yeah, okay, so that is still going for this, and he's removing probably Darius plus Kaisa, leaving only the Ravenbloom.
Yeah, not too bad. Doing the best thing he possibly could. Goes ahead and most likely hides that Zonya's Hourglass on the Dreaming Tree with that Tasty there. And I like that play. It did come at a bit of a cost. Did have to recycle 2 plus... No, just the recycle 2 from the Deadbloom. But you are just leaving Kaiser with a lonely Ravenbloom on that battlefield, making it so much easier to conquer down the road. Because if you didn't go for that play, it would be a Darius Kaiser most likely retreating, getting potential future value going forward. So I think that was a really good play from ARB.
Yeah. And now, I mean, with the hand he has, you're scared about nothing apart from Deadbloom, basically. Because you know everything is gonna die to Icathian Rain. Except for those Deadblooms that you can't target. So trading all the units in the world for a dead bloom it's tough, but it's not that bad, weirdly enough.
Yeah, weirdly enough, for sure, not too bad. It looks like it's a tie game so far, 3-3. These guys are trying to think, how can I get the upper hand? The hand, as we saw from Kaiser, not looking too ideal. The units that he deployed in the previous turn were pretty much the only units available to him. If I'm seeing correctly, there's
Yeah,
2 cleaves, a
he
retreat, a time warp.
can he can cycle a cleave though.
Okay, on a
Uh,
dreaming tree.
yeah, he can just cycle the cleave and oh
Quite the
oh no
overcommitment,
no
but
no that's good because he's going to kill uh the faithful through the zone.
yeah, you're so right. A total, let's bring that up. A total of 12
12.
damage
So
being
the
done.
yeah. So that's good. That's good.
So yeah,
I
it
mean,
does 6 to
that's a
activate
Zonia
the
that still
Zonias.
tanks 6 HP, so that's a lot. But at least the Katian Rain is not wasted, and at least he did something of his turn. And yeah, it's not so bad. Now he just has to pray that his opponent does not hit another Dead Bloom in the 2 next card. No, that's a White Flame, and I think that was a Clockwork Keeper.
Okay, I haven't seen the hand just yet from Master Yi,
Yeah,
but I'll take
that's
your
it.
word for it. I did see a Clockwork looking at things now, and we did see he was running, or no, it was the previous Master Yi that was running quite a lot of White Flames, or at least those were the early draws, but trying to
No,
consider
but
his
the top
options.
card here is definitely a White Flame.
Yeah, it looks that way. Looking, what can he do with the available runes? It looks like there's a total of 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 runes, I should say. Decides to go with a simple Master Yi champion that comes in ready. Of course, he also has ganking. I mean, everything is open, so it's a free conquer. Sends it into the altar, knowing that his opponent doesn't have too much big might units. A Raven Blue can get up there. I say big might, but a cleave brings that up to, what is that? That goes to 5 to 6, and then another cleave brings
I'm
that up to 10 might.
I'm still curious about the idea of not playing the token into. Oh yeah, no, the token was tapped. The token was tapped. That's why. Because it's when you hold. Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, it is when you hold. So he got the recruit the previous hold. It looks like Master Yi trying to
Yeah,
take a page from that book and trying to guarantee a hold from him. But there was 2 cleaves, another Cathian Rain, and is that a Mega Mech or a Sentry? It almost looks like a
it's a
Mega Mech,
sentry.
right?
No, it's a sentry. You can see the 2 cost, and I can see the. No, I know the sentry. No,
Yeah, I think it is a Sentry, but Mega Mech kind of looks like
yeah,
that
I
from
can
this
see. I can see
angle.
what you mean, but I'm so used because it's a really popular card on Legend of Runeterra too.
Okay.
And that's why at the beginning I
Oh,
was calling it Avarozan Sentry because it's called. Oh,
goes for another Cathian Rain. Kaiser's signature spell. How much targets? I think everything should be going down. So doing 2 damage, it looks like, on the Clockwork. I think he's decided to do that because else she would be forced. No. I mean, he'll have to do 4 targets on the Master Yi and then 2 targets on Clockwork, right?
I'm not sure. No, there's only 1 rune left, so yeah, you do that because if there are like 3, 4 runes left, I think you just shoot everything on the Master Yi and you're like, okay, save your Clockwork if you want. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But here,
So
since there is only 1 rune left, yeah, you're like it can go more than Engard, so I had 1 tick on each, and oh, and he got the freaking Dead Bloom. I hate this card so much.
yeah, it looks like you hate to go against it, but you love when it's favoring in your advantage. And it looks like for this Master Yi player coming at the perfect time, taking care of the Dreaming Tree for the time being, going up to 5 points, tying it up again. But I just want to point out that a Cathian Rain that was kept in the mulligan and then ended up drawing an additional one later on, coming in incredibly clutch, right? You would think it's kind of a heavy hand, kind of a heavy card that you don't want till later game, but it really slowed down Master Yi, able to take down some key units, able to take down the Tasty initially, able to take down the Master Yi champion after that. So that is the difference maker, I want to say. So he knows the matchup. He knows Master Yi struggles against high spells, especially something like a Cathian Rain. So he knows it. He knows, like I was saying, the matchup, this Master Yi matchup, super, super well. And really, if there's a way that he's going to continue this pace and try to close things out from 6 to 8, is exactly what he's doing. But now, to get over the Dead Bloom, effectively 10 total might holding it down, is going to take a lot. Something like a Darius plus a Cleave will get up to 10, but then you
He
don't
has a
have a
Watcher in the
follow-up.
hand.
Okay. A Watcher.
So someone is asking if he drew. If he drew, yeah, he drew, but he drew before the student, which is what you're supposed to do. So he drew that Noxus up full. Someone asked if this was the final. No, this is the semifinals. The finals will be right after, and might be the same matchup.
Yeah, either that or it might be a mirror match, depending if it's going to be Kaiser. But most likely thinking since... Oh, no. I thought for some reason Master Yi was up a game. Of course, this is just game 1 of our semifinals. We've seen so much Riftbound. Some of these games are blending together. But let's see. Is a Watcher ideal? Usually you want to wait till there's more units to get that Watcher downgrade of the might. But taking down a Dead Bloom, that's going to be the second Dead Bloom he'll deal with. So there's only one more remaining in the deck. That could be not the worst play, but I see why he's taking his time, because it's not ideal, but it might just be as good as he can do so far to try to not let ARBD get another additional hold point, and then you conquer one yourself, going up to 7. And somehow, if Master Yi is not able to accelerate any units, it's very likely that Omega Zero is going to be holding at least one of those battlefields, since he's going to be controlling 2 battlefields at the same time.
Yeah, so if he goes Watcher plus Cleave, he needs to have exactly 2 Vanguard in hand to survive. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he does have 2 runes at the
Order
ready.
is right.
And does sequence it right. Plays the Cleave while the Watcher's on the Dreaming Tree on guard. So gonna be drawing 1, getting 2 might. Cleave gonna be going plus 3 might, but does get the draw from the Dreaming Tree. So both players taking advantage from the same battlefield. Both are gonna be drawing. Oh, it's a Stupefy. That can make things worse, but I think it doesn't even... It's not even necessary. Out. Yeah.
No. He was not necessary. I was like, this is why he used on guard. He needed exactly 2 on guard to survive. It was still one of... if there was Cleave versus 1 on guard or 1 discipline.
Yeah.
But he did it because he knew that, like, if Kesa takes this battlefield, it's over. So I think Kesa is just going to run away with game 1.
I think so, because looking at the hand, there's a first mate, but a first mate is only ideal to try to take down the recruit token battlefield. He's drawing 1 from the Clockwork, trying to see if there any other option. But even if it's a Tasty Faithful, that's, as we said, only going to be able to go down into one of these battlefields. So I believe the Watcher on that Dreaming Tree should be enough to hold it down, bringing Kaiser from 7 to 8.
You do not have Accelerate with Yi. And it did not manage to get those tokens that he needed to activate the White Flame and so on. So it's just over.
I think so.
A really well played game by Kesa. It seemed that it could have seemed that she used the Catherine Rain really aggressively, but in the end, like, she was like, yeah, but now you don't have anything. I'm just controlling the board, and you will not be able to catch up. And even with the 2 Dead Blooms, indeed, the Kesa player manages to pull off this game. And that's a GG.
GG indeed. Omega Zero and Kaiser going up 1 game in our semifinals. Well done. Okay, interesting. The double
Kesa
Grove
again, and we have another Kesa. So same, that's an entire rat tech with a Kesa playing a holding battlefield. So yeah, nobody cares about which one you're going to oh, and that's a progress day.
Wow. Do you think that was in the sideboard?
I would guess so.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think you're happy to send it bottom deck because like there are two drawing battlefields, so no matter where you are, you're just going to draw. The progress day will most likely not be that useful.
You know, and I was talking before on the break that we've been seeing different choices, not the cookie cutter standard builds from these Kaiser players. And that is a perfect example. You rarely see a Grove of the God Willow being the battlefield selection for a Kaiser. Usually it's something more like Void Gate, something more like Targon's Peak. So yeah, another way of trying to get around Dazzling Aurora, which is why he's found so much success in a field filled with Aurora decks like Yi, MF, even those volley bears that made it quite the impact in day one. But ooh, choosing to go second, it looks like, as the Kaiser. That's interesting, no?
No, Yi chose.
Oh yeah, because
Yi
he did
chose to
lose.
go
What am I
first.
talking about? Of course, of course. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, Yi chose to go first. And now having a tough decision as early as turn one, I thought it would be pretty straightforward to just go ahead and play out your Yordle. I think he did have it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, he wants some tempo. I would hate to do that. I would hate so much to do that.
Yeah, just valuing because it looks like he does have a Stupefy. So not only can you bring your opponent
Oh,
down
and
one.
there you go, guys. The anti-Keisa unit, the Kiana.
Yeah, such a good unit. The standard Aurora build doesn't run Kiana, but it looks like these lower mid to late game builds are running Kiana. And it was a good card. I remember a lot of people were considering one of the better body cards. When you conquer, you have the option whether to channel an extra rune or draw an extra card. So it's a very flexible card. If you need to ramp a little bit earlier, you have the option to do so. In the late game, when you need to find more resources and gain and see more information before you're committing to a play, you can also do that with the same card. So the ability itself is quite powerful.
Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat. Oh, yeah. See, this is why. So this is, guys, the part where Keisa is good against C, because like, if she goes in, she's facing a 4 might unit, but here she does only 3 damages and the unit is gone. And it decides to not go with the Raven Blood, which makes sense because you don't want to be facing the Kiana straight up. So I like that he's waiting, but that's starting to be a lot of points for Yi.
Yeah, little by little occurring those points. So up to 3, the charm gonna be triggering and going to send in the Kaiser that he worked so hard to deploy. So down to the trash. And Master, you're gonna be holding because Ravenbloom, I mean, there is a Stupefy, but Kiana does have Deflect, right? So that's gonna be costing him a
You can
rune.
play with the Keisa. You can play with the Keisa. It's fine.
True. I would keep forgetting you can't play. We learned that today, huh? Or maybe it was yesterday. We might have learned that.
No, it's today. It's today. Alan told us today.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Could we get some clarification on Toronto? Is it like MTG? I don't think so, because in MTG you've got a battle phase and so on. Here you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And then once you're done and you don't have anything to do, it's your opponent and he untaps his rune and then does whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Which makes much more sense since you have 2 battlefields. This was to play in main deck.
Does indeed pay the deflect cost with the legend ability.
Yeah.
So down to just 3 total might. The Ravenbloom student goes and matches that to 3 might. Of course, when we're talking about pushing forward as an attacker, Master Yi's passive ability is going to be activated. So it would be an additional 2 is going to have to get over. But a Darius played as the
Darius,
second card.
He was hiding the Darius behind the student. He was like, oh, I'm going to grind you until my student is ready. And like, nope.
Yeah, nope indeed, because up to 7 total might. Kiana would be going up to 5. There are 4 runes available to the Master Yi. does
And
have
this,
something like discipline that should no. You're 3-2. No,
uh,
it should tie things if you have something like an on guard or discipline. It would be 7-7.
yeah. And now you're happy that your opponent is using the discipline, and you're gonna use the cleave to counter this.
Yeah, there's still a window, sending the focus back over to the Darius player, the Kaiser player with the Darius champion. So you could, as you said, respond with a cleave. So Darius going up to 10 total might.
And is he going to defy it? Is he going to use the defy to kill that cleave? And honestly, I mean, you trade with the Kiana, so you lose your Darius, but destroying getting off a defy for only a cleave, you're happy. Because
Yeah.
getting defy the Void Seeker is hurts so much more. Yeah, so he will keep the defy and take the loss.
Yeah, decide. And you
No,
know
I
for
don't
a
think
fact,
it's that
did we
risky.
see that he did indeed have Defy? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he had defy. We
Okay.
saw it.
So just
I don't think
choosing
it
to
was
not
that.
do it.
I don't think it was that risky. Paying for deflect with Kaisa works how? Well, deflect adds 1 recycling to the spell, so it's still counted on the spell, which means that Kaisa can pay because the cost belongs to the spell.
So it does draw the additional card from that hold. You love to see when Grove goes off. And I like the decision of not going to the other battlefield, because Kaiser had the option to conquer the other Grove, netting himself going up to 1 more point, tying things up to 2, but instead prioritizing the holding position. Even though Master Yi didn't have enough to accelerate something like a Tasty, maybe he was worried of a first mate type of play. But still, just to hold things down for the Grove, that's just a total of 7 total might. Even something like the champion, right? The champion Master Yi wouldn't have been enough to take it over, which is probably the more likely breakpoint he was playing around. So super cool to see. Does get the 2 anyways because he ends up holding, and he's going with the hold the Grove game plan.
And you know why that's so good, because he's got the tank. So now Darius is protected, and look at what he just drew. Look at what's waiting for that little Fairfolk in base.
Yeah, and when you're thinking about it, it costed him his entire set of runes, completely exhausted out. It looks like Kaiser drawing the perfect cards at the perfect time, and he's shaking his head, almost like saying, I have too many good cards in hand, because you know the Falling Stars feels good. Tasty Faithful, you don't have to worry about anything like a deflect. You're only going to be recycling 1 because of your Kaiser Legend ability, and then you have no pressure to worry about. Of course, you have to be considerate of the champion, or the
maybe
champion
you
one.
want to shoot it now, because you're like, it's going to give him more runes and more room to play next turn. So if I just wait, and this Falling Star will be really good on that Yi, maybe. I don't know. That's an option. But then you have to play something, because if you just pass your turn, you're just wasting mana. And it's a high tempo game, so you cannot just waste runes like that.
I don't mind the play, because right now with the amount of might you're holding the Grove, you have 5 from the Darius, 2 from the Yordle, 2 from the Ravenbloom, right? So you're going up to 9 total might on defense, and the Yi, even with the discipline, would only be matching that, or actually it would be under that. It would be just at 8 total might. So it would take a lot from the Master Yi player to get over the Grove. So I feel like investing the Falling Star, which I think we're seeing it now. He's going to be playing it out, recycling 1, playing the Legend ability, 2 targets onto the Tasty Faithfolk. It does come at the cost of that Def ability. So getting 2 channel runes and drawing 1. But still, it's going to be rather tough to take care of the Grove. You could always try to go for the other one, but there's no units on Master Yi's side.
Yeah. Going back quickly to chat to try to answer some of the question. The player who lost the game chooses who starts, and is it worse to play in main deck? We'll talk about those questions um, after.
Yeah, let's focus a little bit more on the game just because it is that
Yeah,
semifinals. And then we would love to answer the questions in between just to keep a little bit more the immersion of the
yeah.
casting experience. So these guys are thinking about, or Omega Zero is thinking about, he committed the Falling Stars, doesn't know if he wants to go ahead and pass. He only has 3 runes available. What more can he do? He's trying to decide, do I want to completely tap out to maybe put something like another Yordle on this battlefield? And it's a Ravenblood instead, so packing the house up on that grove.
Oh, but did he completely tap out? No, so he still has one. Because like playing another Ravenbloom to just if you have a spell, it's like how to say that if you use a spell with only one Ravenbloom, you get +1. If you can't use a spell after and you have 2 Ravenbloom, you're just at one more in the end. So I think he has a 1-cost spell, but I could not see his hand. He has a cleave. He has a cleave that would not give anything defensively, but that would still give +2 to the Ravenbloom.
Yeah, +2 on that battlefield. So it's something that Master Yi's player has to consider. And at least, it could be a Stupefy. I think I did see a Stupefy from the Kaiser. That would be huge. Just because it'll be 2 extra might on the Ravenbloom and then 1 down. So a total of 3 might difference on that battlefield, which could make a big difference for that breakpoints. We see the Dead Bloom is in the hand for the Master Yi player. But even at this point of the game, I like this. We've said before, Kai's so good at conquering, not so good at holding. But Omega Zero flipping the original Kai's script. He did it in game 1 a little bit and doing it in game 2 a whole lot. Going with the holding game plan. That's a little different than we're used to seeing from traditional builds. At least the way he's playing
Yeah,
so
I
far.
mean, he's trying to adapt to the momentum of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And forcing the readied Master Champion to go after the other grove since the other one's a bit occupied. A little too high might occupied. Does go up to 3, but it looks like Omega will be matching that when he passes. What can he try to set up for the following turn? Does he have something like, I was going to say either a Pit Rookie or a Clockwork, but does add the buff. So up to 7 total might on the grove. So something like a Darius, even with the ready, won't be enough because of the legend ability, of course. And there's a whole lot of draw when you're talking about the grove. So 2 cards back, or 2 cards in general getting picked up for this guy. Let's see what they were. And is a time warp. Okay, and look, Leroy, he does have the Stupefy, so that was available to him last turn.
Yeah. Okay. He didn't just draw it. No, it was in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why he played that.
And I'm seeing, is that 2 time warps? So we'll have to keep an eye if he ends up finding the perfect opportunity to let that time warp go. Usually it's something when you're on 6, you bring it up to 7 from the hold, and then a watcher could try to conquer the last battlefield for the final 8th point.
Also, remember that you're only paying 3 runes with Kaisa for time warp. So right now it's like at 9 runes. If he does not spend 1 rune, next turn he can play 2 time warps in a row.
Oh, that'll be huge. I mean, he'll go... I don't think he'll be able to take he has a Darius. It looks like a Darius plus a Stupefy. What would that bring him down? It'll be a 6, and then the Master Yi ability will bring him up to 8. So it still wouldn't be enough. A Darius plus a Stupefy isn't enough to get rid of the other unit from that other grove. So I think he's trying to find another line. Do you want to pack the house on the current controlled grove any bit more? Or do you feel like that's a bit of overcommitment?
No, I'm good because all right. The thing is, right now, the Yi player is like I'm a point ahead. So if I hold and if he holds that like that until the end of the game, we're good. And so in the mind of the Kaisa player, I'm thinking like, okay, you want to play that game? I'm gonna play 2 time warp in a row, and I'm just going to get 2 points ahead of you, and then good luck to try to reconquer the battlefield.
Yeah, let's see if he ends up going for that. And the notes have been out, or the paper and pen have been brought out. A little note taking, or perhaps some math calculation. It looks like he's writing words, though. Sometimes you can't tell if these players are writing or if they're just making, or if they're doing math quickly on pen and paper. And it's intricate.
And
You know, when you bring the pen and paper, things are heating up and getting really
yeah.
serious.
Okay, so it will be at 10 runes right now next turn, which will allow him to do, yeah, that time warp, but not the two of them. He still has one defy.
Yeah, let's see, because he passes it over to Master Yi. The only thing in the base, it will be the pit rookie, but keep in mind, Master Yi has ganking, but I like this decision. I think he's fully committed on just holding the growth for the remaining of the game. There's 10, 12, 16, and then the Raven Blooms can go up a little bit, but 18, 20 total might on that battlefield alone. That is quite the tall task to try to get over. Master Yi, what does he possibly have? I know he has White Flame Protector. That could go a long way. White Flame Protector on the Master Yi plus the Pit Rookie. What is that? A total of 16 might. Even that's not enough.
No, clearly not. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, if we could take
Would
a
be like
closer look.
White Flame double Engard the Yi into, I don't know.
I think I saw another Dead Bloom as well. Perhaps that could be something like, no, you can't play and move at the same time, but you could play, get rid of some units first, and then move in with your ganking unit. So that could be a potential line to try to dwindle those mites defenses on that growth. So let's see.
So
Looks
now
like
she's
Pit
going
Rookie,
to take away the Yordle. Is he going to stupefy that Pit Rookie?
It wouldn't be terrible. You do get +1 draw. Pit Rookie doesn't get
and
anything
you save all of your unit. Now is he going to... Is it to what?
He didn't
no, he's
defy
thinking,
the
I know.
cleave, but does defy
No,
the stupefy.
No, it's because one is like is solo on card, so he probably doesn't have that many cards that I can defy. I'm high on runes, I can allow that. And he's going to draw if he uses Stupefy. I think it's mostly to deny the draw.
Yeah, I think to deny the draw and to deny the +1 on each of those Raven Blooms. So I think both of those are important things to clarify in that position. So does it go for the Zonias, but looking like is the Dead Bloom Predator more than likely going to be hitting the board? Does he go for the base, or not the base, goes for the battlefield? What can he take out? Is he going to go for, what is that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? He can go for the 3 cards on the left, the Noxious Hopeful,
yeah,
and 2
but
Raven
don't you want
Blooms.
to take one Darius and one Lindblom? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Darius is a menace in his own right. You're able to retreat, play 2 cards, and then send it into the other battlefield. So I wouldn't blame him. I like what you're saying. Maybe the Darius, one of the Raven Blooms, where you're leaving 1 damage on the table. Goes for the original play we were thinking, just trying to maximize the total number of units you're going to take down. The Hourglass, keeping the Dead Bloom safe. We're calling over the base and going to be retreating the ganking, or retreating the Master Yi champion. Trying to get some conquers the following turn. 4-4. This game is neck and neck. No one's pulling ahead.
A Raven Bloom that was drawn, right?
Looks like a smoke screen from here.
That would be good.
Yeah, I think the 2 draws were Smoke Screen and a Hextech Ray. So quite the defensive pickups for him. Able to try to keep with the hold the grove game plan.
Okay, so you absolutely gotta use one time out right now. So you can take out at least one Darius.
And you're totally right. Time Warp has been
And then
deployed.
put it on the other battlefield next turn. Get up to 6. Take back one Darius. Yeah.
Okay, I like this. So he does get the hold. He's going to be drawing 2. That's 2 more cards you see. Time Warp with the Grove of the God Willow has some nice synergy we have yet to seen in previous games. So everything gets ready. You get the hold. You go up to 5. You get your +1 draw for the normal turn. And then you get your +1 draw for the Grove. There it is. And it's going to be...
so many killing power.
Yeah, so many killing power, but doesn't have too many units to try to get this Darius online.
Do you even care? Do you even care? You're just putting one Darius on each battlefield?
And Time Warp, right? Wait a minute. Is this
No, he doesn't have
GG?
enough no, he does not have enough for Time Warp.
Oh, that's right. He's what is that?
That's
2,
why,
4, 6,
yeah,
8,
but
2, 1 shy.
You do not tap anything, and next turn you can just pummel your opponent's units with X-Tech Ray and Void Seeker and the smoke screen, and you get so many runes to deal with them and to make sure that you're holding at least one battlefield and that everything is dead in front of you. So I don't mind the Kaisa situation right now. If just conquer one battlefield and pass it over, you've got so much reaction possible. Can't he kill the Yi champion? No, he can't kill anything. All of his spells, all of his damage spells, target only units that are on battlefields.
Exactly right. There's a big difference when it clarifies on a battlefield. So...
Oh no! Okay, no, he will still try to kill them as they go, but he still wants to protect his Darius. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, it is interesting. Ideally, you will want to do something like this when you're at 6, but looking like he wants to just go ahead and get up to 7 potentially this following turn with a double Darius push. There's only the double Clockwork, a Debloom. Oh, it could have been playing around a potential secondary Debloom perhaps. Well, there's already one on the board. He knows 5 might from the Darius. Was it going to be enough to hold?
Maybe there's a safe line next turn where you've got 11 rune, and so you can ready your Darius's while using X-Ray plus the Time Warp, and then have another turn to try to finish it all. I don't know. He might have some shenanigans in hand.
Yeah, perhaps. And the flip kind of causing his opponent saying, wait a minute, I didn't like what you just did there. He's going to get the judge involved. I don't think there was any malice in there. He kind of accidentally flipped the runes. I think his opponent understands. Send the Master Yi over to the left grove. It's going to be eating a Void Seeker, so doing 4 total damage. Perhaps going to be following that up with another Hex Ray. He could also get it done with a smoke screen.
Look what he just drew.
I know, that is the perfect card. If he was at 6, that could be the game-winning card, but slowly but surely might find himself in that position. Let's see, because the infamous 1-2 punch is a Time Warp into a Watcher to close things out, but I think he's 1, 2, 2, 4, 6. No, he has enough for a Time Warp next turn, and then on the next turn, he should have enough for a Watcher. If you hold, you go up to 6. No, that's not going to be enough to close things out yet, so we'll see.
No, right now he kills the Yi with X-Tech Ray, and I think he still has enough for Time Warp into Watcher.
Yeah, looks like he did the math, so it goes down to, I believe, 8 runes. Oh, but that's going to hurt a little bit. The discipline keeping the Master Yi alive, forcing him to commit a little bit more. It looks like he's thinking about it, wants to commit, wants to get that Master Yi off the table, and will send the smoke screen. So -4 damage. If there wasn't enough damage on that Master Yi, there's definitely is now, because that 6 is going to be effectively down to just 2 might. So he has a total of 7 damage. I say 2 might, but of course the discipline brings it up to 4. but there's a total of 7 damage. 4 from the Void Seeker, 3 from the Hex Ray. Oh, are they saying it hasn't resolved yet? I thought he drew already. I think they're just clarifying what's been played so far. And it's almost like he's saying I might have another Defy, but we know from the position here, I don't think he has another Defy. I think that smoke screen will be going off and the Master Yi is going to be going down. But there is a Dead Bloom in the back base. So it doesn't feel like the worst, but he makes me double think that it feels like it is the worst. Why is he thinking about it so much?
I don't know, because probably it doesn't have much units left, and I don't know.
Perhaps because the double Darius, it would be enough to take down the Dead Bloom. You go from 6. Oh, I see the line, or at least I think I see the line, because if you get rid of Master Yi now, Dead Bloom's forced to push forward on his own, and then sending both Darius in that direction will conquer. And then if you're able to play Time Warp, you go from 6 to 7, and then on the next turn you could accelerate your Watcher. I could be mistaken, you might not have all that runes, because you go 10, you minus 3 down to 7 plus
you can't
2.
You can't time warp anymore, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, he did
but
one too many, right? Yeah, he did one too many with the smokescreen and the ray.
He can Watcher, and that would already bring so many pressure on his opponent. And that would still leave like, because one Darius would probably trade, and I would still leave like one Darius and one Watcher alive to be removed in one turn.
Yeah, let's see how the remaining of this turn plays out. A lot of resources expending to try to take down the Master Yi, and it looks like he was successful. Master Yi does go down, and he doesn't want to commit. Oh, he did play more than 2 spells, so both of these Dariuses, even though it's his opponent's turn, will be readying and gaining +2 might. The only way it would come to play if he ends up doing something like a Charm, which I don't think he's going to be able to do. Pit Rookie coming down, buffing it up to 9 total might, sending it to the right grove.
That changes a lot of things, though.
Because of the 11 breakpoint.
Yeah, because if you play Watcher into Raven Bloom, and there's no buff and nothing, it just goes like you can just trade the both of them. Now it's a bit more complicated. I think he will have to execrate to buff the Darius, and the only way to execrate is to damage the Dead Bloom.
The deflected Dead Bloom. Yeah, you're totally right. So it doesn't love his position. These guys are going so toe-to-toe, 5-5. Is there a play for this Kaiser to try to inch their way a little bit closer to that final game point? 2 strong units in the base. If you're able to play 2 cards here, they're both going to be attacking for a collective total of 14 total might. But like Leroy said, it doesn't look super easy to get 2 cards out this very turn. So having to think deeply, I wish we could see his hand currently to see what his available options are to him.
I still think that's the play. I still think that's the play. That's like, oh, but he has Defy right now.
Does he? Okay.
Still in hand. So the Ray would get defied, and that would make things, because he could go with 12 into that Dead Bloom that would be at 7, so you still keep a unit, and then the Darius goes on the other battlefield. Yeah, I still think that's the correct play.
You're saying the Ray on the
Ray on the is gonna get defied, but no matter what, it will make things more hectic because you will sacrifice Watcher instead of a Dead Bloom. What?
Interesting. Decides to play the Watcher directly onto the other Grove. Perhaps thinking he could hold his way to victory, but he's behind on the current tempo. When he passes back, Master Yi player is going to be going up to 6, and if they end up playing back and forth in terms of holding, Master Yi is the one going to be getting there first. So interesting decision. As we saw, you're going to get +2 draw. These guys, this game might be on record for the most amount of additional draws from both players together, right? There's so many draws from the Grove of the God Willow on both of these guys. So healthy hand size.
Did he tap deck a White Flame? No, he did not. Yeah, okay, he did that because you want to use Time Warp next turn.
Oh, that makes sense. He just needs to hold one more time. He has exactly 8 runes, 10 on the very next turn. Is there anything he could do? I think I just saw another Dead Bloom getting played out, getting rid of the Watcher. Then there's going to be a total of 10 might. A clockwork, and a pit rookie. That's not going to be enough. I think Leroy, if that time warp, which we did see is in hand, goes off, I think our Kaiser player just defeated Master Yi in a 2-0 fashion. But of course, I don't want to speak too soon. Perhaps there's some cards that we're missing. He has the Dead Bloom at the top of his hand, most likely the most likely target that he's going to be playing out this turn.
Oh, right. Because if it Dead Blooms and into double Guard, that's 8, 10, 12. So he can kill the Watcher and the Darius, and then he can conquer with all of these units, defy the
Ray. Is there going to be enough available runes to defy?
Yeah, because I think he's at 12, so I think he's got it. I think he
Master Yi might have whooped this one out. That's a double on guard. So you're going, well, on guard number 1, first things first. So going up to 10. On guard
12.
number 2, going up to 12.
Kill Darius, kill Watcher. Am I correct on my math?
We'll see. It is getting late in the evening for us, or the morning, I should say. So a total 12 might, enough to kill 2 units. You were perfectly spot on that. And then sends everything Darius's way. Darius only has 5 right now. Saying, is there any response? And now, there is a defy.
And now there's the or the Unyielding Spirit or whatever.
Or whatever he chooses. Ouch. That's a conquer. So 7 points. And then the hold, he just needs to hold one of these battlefields. Things are looking good because there is 0 units on the base. There's 0 units in the hand. I think Master Yi is going to be bringing us to a game 3. Sonya's Hourglass, we're suspecting. Actually, we know because we have full information here at the caster booth. It's going to be hidden on the other side. So even if Dead Bloom Predator goes down, he's going to be able to go ahead and attack with it the following turn. So Time Warp, Falling Stars, and a Mega Mech are the only cards available. Those are no accelerated potentials. I think Master Yi just locked this one out, and we are heading ourselves to a game 3.
Wait, he can Time Warp into Inkatian Rain, and his opponent made the mistake to use the Unyielding Spirit instead of the Defy. So it could potentially kill everything. By going down to like 1 rune.
You're saying if he top decks
if he top decks Inkatian Rain.
Oh, true, but he top decks the Yordo instead. He gets to draw a little bit more, but he's running out of runes.
Yeah, now it's over.
It's over. He's realizing the truth. He's realizing the position he's in. He's gonna find himself in a game 3 saying, what could I have done differently? I didn't get to see any Acathian Rain. Game 1 went so well for me because I was able to play out 2 of them, but I didn't get to see any this game. I'm wondering if he sided them out. They did so good for him game 1. I would really highly doubt that he sided them out.
You would side them potentially against an Aurora player, because Acathian Rain is like not that good, understandable, but not that good. But against a RAM player, you would never do that. Because there's only the Dead Blue that's a problem, and all the rest you can pummel with Acathian Rain.
And man, incredible game, super tight game. Both of these players at
Yeah,
one point I thought was gonna run away with it, but at the very end, the Master Yi player closing it down. Well done.
play and obelisk of power on one side. We knew that, and look at that. A stab deep pick from Kesa. It went full anti-aura.
Yeah. Knowing that that's
And
her
so,
worst matchup, I like that. It's a
yeah,
way to
but
mitigate and your
now,
unfavorable odds, making them a little bit more favorable towards you. So I like that. I see why this guy made it so far on battlefields alone.
yes, that I agree. But now it's gonna be really tough because you got one holding battlefield that he can focus and is so much better at this game than you. This being said, Kesa is starting. I hope if he's got a catalyst, he's gonna be so happy that Kesa started.
Yeah, let's see, because he does have exactly 4 runes. Does he have that ramp too? Catalyst of Aeons, and he top decked it. Did you see that, Leroy? He didn't have it in hand, but of course, sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, getting
Well,
plus.
I know who's going to final.
Yeah, that is huge. Quite the advantageous position to just top deck the catalyst exactly when you needed it. That's 6 runes, going up to 8 runes the next turn. Huge swing, even as early as that turn 1. Sets things up nice and early for the Master Yi that wants to enter the late game as soon as possible. And not the best hand. He has that Noxious Hopeful, but he doesn't really have another way of trying to trigger the Legion on the Noxious Hopeful. You could kind of just stupefy yourself. Doesn't feel the best. You do get a draw. Might be the best way, but you would much rather stupefy your opponent when it actually does make a difference. So you could tell he's not loving his hand. He has a late game
I
card
mean,
as Watcher.
he could just play the Noxus Hopeful
Oh, for
without.
4? Okay, I could respect
Yeah,
that
and
too.
you keep the Stupefy to activate Darius.
Yeah, you have the Stupefier Cleave to activate Darius, so a little bit spoiled with options there. But not too good options in
That would
general.
make you add 6, and you could play against a Yi or a Faithful, but you could not play against a freaking. See, you don't want to play because there's a possible dead blow next turn.
Yeah, that does make sense. Make sure you
And the
save
fact
the
that he's not
Raven
playing
Bloom.
right now, it's like, how is he going to hold his ground if he's already not playing right now?
An interesting decision. Both of these players decided to bring out their champion earlier than usual. Of course, Kaiser Survivor tends to enter a little bit earlier, but Master Yi, we're used to seeing them late, but apparently the late game is already here with that Catalyst or Catalyst of Aeons getting played out as early as turn. Oh no, it got turn 1 played out.
That's a good draw.
2 Dariuses now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking.
And Yi isn't tapped out, but how many runes does he have? 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can totally, go with Cliff Darius, and then if there's a reaction from the Yi with an on guard, you can superfy it and you still win.
I feel like before committing to that play, I like Kaiser going into the Obelisk of Power just to see a little bit more information before committing, because you do get that +1 draw, but he is going to be playing Darius. He's going to be playing Cleave on top of it, so is going to be attacking for a total of 10 might versus the 8 might currently. The On Guard is going to be matching it so far.
On guard, and now superfy. All right, there you go.
Beautifully done. Anticipating the on guard, playing around it perfectly. Had the perfect combination of 2 cards on top of this Darius. And it looks like he's still going to end up getting the draw from the Kaiser, most likely sending it into the Obelisk. Or are you scared of the Dead Bloom? I mean, Dead Bloom is coming out whether you like it or not, into the Darius or into the Kaiser.
Is really going to... Oh, come on. I don't know about that. I get the idea of like...
It worked
yeah,
well
he's
for
really
him
playing
game
around
2.
the Dead Bloom.
He did the hold the battlefield game plan. It goes up to 9. Ravenbloom brings that up to 11. So it is indeed more than what a Deadbloom would bring to the table. So perhaps he's thinking about the same thing. And if he doesn't, of course, we did see an accelerated unit potentially being played out in that Tasty Faithfolk. 6 isn't going to be
Yeah.
enough.
I get the idea because you're getting one rune from the starting pick. This guy, we saw he has a control deck because he had a progress day, so it's already control H Kaiser.
Okay.
So yeah, and clearly you can see that he's thinking about all of his plays, all the card he can draw, all of the outcome possible.
Yeah, we'll see. And it looks like the Master Yi player also thinking about all the possible plays he could have. It looks like he's leaning towards the Tasty Faithfolk, and it looks like he's going to be deciding to play it out, but chooses to not add the additional value and getting the accelerated off, just going to be playing onto the base. So you hold, you're going to be able to channel one rune because of the start to peak, and you're also going to be getting your hold point. I'm wondering, does he want to retreat Darius to try to conquer the other battlefield? Or do you keep with this game plan that works so well with him for game 2? Does he want to keep stacking up that battlefield? He has a Noxious Hopeful. He has another Darius. Able to play it this turn because I think he has enough runes for both of those cards. It feels a little bit over commitment. But I think at this position, if he does go ahead and play that out, even a White Flame Protector on top of that Tasty Faithfolk might not be enough to take it down.
Yeah. And both of the players are playing really slowly, and it's so funny. They're dancing around each other, tiptoeing. I was like, oh, are you going to do this?
Yeah, playing very cautiously. And it looks like it's been a 74-minute round so far. So well deeply what would be normally time in a 60-minute match, it looks like the semifinals will be on time as well as the finals. So these guys have free reign to really make sure they make the most optimal play each and every turn. And he's thinking about, what did he do there? I saw one. No. He channeled one for Star Tip. I thought he's floating an energy or something.
No. Knowing him, he's just going to play Darius and Star Tip. And
yeah, I think in the Legion, right? Not the Legion, but the Noxious Hopeful. I thought he was just gonna keep stacking up that battlefield because that's what worked well for him before. In this position, unlike the other one before, he actually does have that point tempo, so favoring him ever so slightly if he's able to truly hold. But it's kind of dicey because if he's able to break things down with the Deadbloom, something like that. Okay, he decides to go into base instead.
whoa. Okay.
Wow, playing around the Deadbloom very expertly, but I almost want to conquer, but that could be the inexperience in me. I want to conquer the Obelisk of Power, but he's prioritizing the double conquer the following turn, and more importantly, not allowing something like Deadbloom Predator to get the full value of getting played out onto a conquered battlefield.
Yeah, he's basically playing saying, if I conquer, I want you to be tapped out. And else, I'm not going to play anything.
All right, since the start tip, I was just gonna say if it was since any battlefield is open right now, decides to send it in with Tasty Faithfolk, should be going up to 3 here. Kaiser only has 1, so has things like retreat, has things like stupefy. Of course, retreat not gonna be doing too much in this situation. Oh, something to be mindful of. I am seeing a defy in our Master Yi's hand.
Yeah, and he played well around that Deadbloom, and now he has to send that Deadbloom just like a normal guy that can't access an occupied battlefield.
And it looks like Master Yi ended up staying with passing the turn with a total of 3 total runes. So did he have the double on guard already? I know he had 1 in hand. I can't remember if I saw the other one.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. So he does
I
elect to pass, and it's a Watcher. That's quite the good card. I think later on, if he's able to, so he goes for the Conquer. It looks like with the Kaiser,
I don't think
draws the
so.
Watcher.
Because he already used one on guard. That would be weird that I mean, that would be something is if he already drew his 3 on guard.
And he's trying to think deeply. He's trying to say, how can I effectively take down, or how can I efficiently take down this Tasty Faithful? Because I could do simply a Darius and a Noxious Hopeful, but is that the best line? I have a Stupefy. I have a Watcher, but a Watcher seems a little bit too overcommitment. You want to make sure if there's a lot of units on the battlefield, you get the full value from a Watcher coming down. And man, I wonder what's going through these players' heads. They're thinking
that's what
so
honestly I'm
intensely.
stressing with them. I'm like, they're thinking too much. My brain is burning.
Yeah, exactly right.
They're the one thinking, why is my brain burning? That's not fair. And he's gonna go with the Watcher. Only to ensure that like he loses no unit. So now it's at 4. We'll be at 6. And yeah, he can just stupefy the Faithfolk and go with Darius.
Yeah, because right now the Faithful is down to 3 might. With the Master Yi ability, it will be going up to 5. So Darius at 7? No. It will be at 7 once he plays something like a Stupefy. So Stupefy bringing the Tasty Faithful down to 4 total might, and Darius gonna be going up to 7 total might. So that should be enough, even if something like an On Guard or a Discipline is played onto the Tasty Faithful, it would be only going up to 6. But it looks like the decision being, do I defy the Stupefy? It won't make a difference, right?
Yeah.
It
won't. I mean, it's the draw again that's denied, and it will make a difference because now the card is not played, so Darius is still at 5.
Oh, that does make a huge difference, of course.
There's a retreat that can be played on any card, especially the Raven Bloom. That doesn't cost much, and he can smoke screen it. And it's like, the thing is, if he only... Yeah, he can't smoke screen plus... he doesn't have the mana to smoke screen plus retreat. So if he retreats now, and then there's a reaction from the Yi, then it's too late. He won't be able to... He will have to trade his Darius.
Yeah, it looks like he's considering his options because he already committed to the play of trying to conquer the Tasty occupied battlefield. So he doesn't want to let it go so nilly-willy. He wants to try to get paid out. So let's see. He's gonna have to play another card. Do you just retreat your Raven Bloom? You do. Okay, taking the even trade. That's not terrible. I didn't realize it was an even trade right there because 7 doesn't get the Stupefy. Okay, I think it is because of the Master Yi ability. But now you're able to get in with at least a Raven Bloom or the Noxious Hopeful. So going up to 4, I believe he wants to stay in those even points. Climbing up ever so slightly. So just about halfway mark. Trying to get his way, trying to get a little bit further up into that 8th and final point. And you know, he's not going for the battlefield game plan anymore.
Oh, the sabotage.
That is pretty big. Especially considering the fact there's a smokescreen online. He's trying to see if he wants to react with the smokescreen, but there's not a good target because his opponent, I believe smokescreen only works on battlefields, right?
No. Yes, no.
Let me double check just to make sure.
Wow, we're so off.
No, it is any. Yeah. I thought sometimes any unit.
I was like, in my mind it was any, but it's so late in we've been casting for so long.
Yeah, we're approaching about 10.5 hours, so forgive us if we're messing up a teeny little bit, but sabotage will be played out, and he does decide to go with the retreat on the Watcher. You love to see it, getting value from a Watcher a second time, especially considering the fact that the Dead Bloom's going to be playing onto a battlefield. And whoa, that's 2 Watchers plus a smokescreen, so the only available target being the smokescreen, of course. And this could be the end game.
He could have preemptively smokescreened the Dead Bloom.
You're right. It would have cost him 1 rune, but then he couldn't retreat. I think he was valuing the retreat, because I think a double Watcher...
Why couldn't he retreat? Why couldn't he retreat?
He didn't have enough runes, right?
Oh yeah, he didn't have enough. Yeah, okay, so he chose to yeah. That's why. Else he would have done both. Okay,
exactly.
Thank you.
If he had the ability to do both, exactly, he would have done both. But prioritizing, because he's at 4, right? Watcher might be able to get him to 6, and then the second Watcher might be the exact card he needs to get those final 2 points. So I can respect that decision. I just don't think this Kaiser is going to be staying around too much longer, knowing that Dead Bloom is around.
No, but he will still get a 5th point through the Raven Bloom. It's just sitting there, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what he has in hand. I think there was that tasty... Wait, I think he used the tasty in hand. So you're right. I think there's only 1 battlefield that the Master Yi is able to conquer here. So Raven Bloom stays, goes up to 5. And then Watcher comes down, goes to 6. And then you have 1 more Watcher for the final push, if you get taken out on the follow-up play. But perhaps you could still hold another unit. We'll see. Yeah,
and I think like Yi is really scratching his head right now, because he's like, okay, I gotta deal with 2 Watcher. Top 5 cards in the game, by the way, guys.
Yeah, top 3 maybe.
Yeah. And now it's like, what do I do? How do I play those turns so that I can play around literally 2 Watcher when my opponent is already at 5 points? It's mission impossible.
Yeah, I think so as well. Does decide to deploy the Kiana just for the follow-up turn, but we saw the Watcher, and it's a triple Watcher in the hand. This could be not ideal. I think 2 was more than enough. You weren't happy to draw the 3rd, but I mean, it is what it is. You want to play.
Yeah, but you can just trade it. You can just trade it into the Dead Bloom.
I agree. I think you just send it. Did he get his point for the Raven Bloom hold?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he did. He did go from 4
You just
to 5.
send one with the Diop full, retreat the Raven Bloom, and yeah. It's like I would be scared if my opponent was already at like 6 points, because I know it will take some time for the 3 Watchers to do some damage. But now, I mean, I'm chilling.
I mean, he has the same options available to him. You're either gonna Watcher, or you're gonna Watcher, or you might just have to Watcher, right? So it's just thinking about how he wants to approach this.
Yeah,
and I say that jokingly, of course.
It's normal to take your time, because at least you're like bluffing that you've got a lot of choices.
Yeah, I like this. He's playing the mind games in the game 3 semifinals.
Oh, he played the Watcher. Who could have seen it coming?
Exactly.
I swear the official casters must be laughing so hard right now. I could
think
not
so
like
as well.
Even as an official caster, I would be laughing and looking.
Yeah, I mean, we're having a good time here as well. So down to 5 total might plus the 2, so up to 7. So it does trade evenly with the Watcher. So you can send the Watcher, then send in either the Hope for the Dares, but sends everything in case there's something like a Discipliner on guard.
Yeah, but did he need to? Oh yeah, double Discipline on guard. I don't know what. It's like, yeah, whatever. Now, do you use something to remove a certain amount of unit and or of might? And I think it doesn't matter sending the Darius, because it's like, anyway, it will be hard to trigger two cards in a turn now that I have 3 Watchers in hand. So I get the idea.
Yeah, let's see. We forgot to count up because that's gonna be going up to 12 total might. It's gonna be a discipline, so up to, what did I say he had earlier? Man, it is getting harder and harder the later we get into these games. We'll let these players do the math. Usually I'm super on top of it, but let's see how it ends up panning out. He's going to be targeting and trading with the
Yeah,
Darius and the Hopeful. So the Watcher does get the Conquer, goes up to 6. And keep in mind, guys, there's 2 more Watchers. So I think I like what you said, Leroy. Bring back the Raven Bloom. Prepare for another assault with the Watcher, just in case Kiana comes looking your way.
yeah, and yeah, bring back the Raven Bloom because you will need it in case there's the Kiana and some other accelerates. What has been picked? Oh, that's 2 Zonias. Good luck with that. It's the Zonia is not bad, but right now, guys, it's like a bit too late because your unit going back is the same as you losing the game, kind of.
Yeah, you want to be a little bit more proactive than that. At least he sees another card from this Clockwork. It will be a first mate. That could... No, it's not going to change anything because
No,
you
it's
don't have
GG.
anything big enough for this Watcher. I think you're right. Omega Zero might be finding himself very, very close to getting that final 7, and then the 8th with the Watcher that we know he has in hand. I think Kaiser from Omega Zero will be moving forward, but of course, let me slow down on my excitement because it just looks that way, but he proved me wrong before. But Master Yi's simply at 4. Even if he doesn't close things out the very next turn, he has another Watcher the follow-up turn. I think Kaiser looking very, very good favorable position from here. But let's see how it ends up playing out nonetheless.
And guys, I don't know if you realize the level that has been showed by Omega Zero in this game, where there are so many planes where we were like, oh, why is not attacking right now? Oh, why is he defending this right now? And every time he proved us that he was right and that he saw some lines that were crazy and he perfectly played it. Big props to him. I'm baffled by the level that is pulling right now. It's crazy.
I couldn't agree more. You rarely see a Kaiser prioritizing holding battlefields, and Omega Zero did that in game 2, doing that in game 3, goes up to 7 with the Watcher, and I think this is GG. He doesn't have enough to defend the Kiana. The Watcher should be coming down, bringing the Kiana back to the 1 minimum might, and then a Watcher with the 7 and Ravenbloom with the 2 should be 9. So 1, you have to, even with a discipline. Oh, of course, I'm forgetting the legend ability. So it will be going up to 3. Even with a discipline, that's up to 5. Another discipliner on guard up to 7. Raven
but you
Blue,
got
make
7
sure
plus
you
2.
conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't expect anything less from the semifinals matchup, going all the way to a game 3, but it looks like Omega Zero doing the math, making sure he's not missing anything. He's trying to say, what can I possibly run into? Is there something like a primal strength I gotta consider? I don't think there is, but perhaps if it is closed deck list, we don't know for 100% certainty.
It is run in some RAM deck. I've already seen it. So yeah, but anyway, you send it like that, and then you get your Watcher for next turn. It's not like you've got any choice. It's your only play.
Is your only play. He just wants to make sure he's not missing something. So he's not thinking about what he's gonna play. He knows what he's gonna play. What he's thinking about right now is, what does he has to play against? What does his opponent have in the final 3 remaining cards? He's doing the math, saying in an ideal world, if he had discipline on guard, can he still overcome that? Kiana goes down to 1, Master Yi ability brings it up to 3, Discipline goes to 5, the second Discipline goes up to 7, and an On Guard goes up to 9. So that would trade even. So in the most ideal situation, you're not going to conquer for Mega Zero, but at the very least, you do trade evenly. But that's in, like we said, the most optimal, ideal, best 3 cards that that AR can have in hand. It's very unlikely. So Omega Zero
Actually, the
should...
most ideal would be the and the rage, the now rage. I
Yeah, the
forgot. I can't
primal
remember
strength.
this.
You're absolutely
The
right.
primal strengths
I mean,
and the Vanguard.
he
So
doesn't
yeah,
have
I
it.
get what you mean, and that's GG.
GG Omega Zero with a not, I wouldn't say not dominant, but with a very spectacular display, how to work things, how to do everything you need to do to get the job done. So congratulations, finding himself in the first ever National Open finals. And you know, his opponent played super well as well. Man, if that was our semifinals, I am excited to see what our finals are going to bring for us.